Recently, I've discovered JazzE and his well-written character guides. This past week, he announced he's quitting Genshin Impact. For this video, let's focus on JazzE's reasons for leaving. In his video announcing his departure from the game, he mentioned a couple things. That Genshin has turned out to be nothing more than a character collector, that there's no purpose to the game, that it's made for a casual crowd, and that there isn't much depth to new updates. So here's the deal, he's not wrong, but there's a lot to unpack here, and I think there is a way to move forward with this game. Let's start with Genshin's depth, and who it was made for. Those of us who have been playing since the beginning are at least AR-55. We've seen all the content in the game, sometimes multiple times. There isn't a large amount of new commissions or new domains coming out. When we do get a new boss, we farm it for a week or two and move on. When MiHoYo adds new content, like the excellent Theater Mechanicus, it gets removed once the event is over. Sure, we got Dragonspine, but it's not a new territory in the same sense that Mondstadt and Liyue are. We won't see that until we get Inazuma, and there's really no telling how much content that will actually bring when it comes out. So yeah, once you reach AR-55, there isn't much depth to the game. Log in, do commissions, blow through resin, log out. Sometimes an event is sprinkled in there, sometimes we get a new boss to farm for the week, sometimes we might refresh our resin a little bit. But that's it. I think JazzE is dead on that this game is meant for a casual crowd. And I think that's somewhat implied by the fact that this is primarily a mobile game. I play on PC as most serious gamers would. I want there to be more to do in this game, for there to be more to uncover, for there to be more story, but that's not coming frequently. And I believe the largest amount of the player base does play on mobile, so there are limitations from that as to how big the file size of this game can be. And in some sense, it's almost like Genshin is an early access game. And that's how I choose to look at the situation here. I downloaded Genshin, it's early access, and new content comes out as MiHoYo develops it. It's not a complete game, so I don't view it as such. I think it might be easier for some people to view it similarly, to understand that it's not a complete game and not to expect it to operate beyond the scope that it does. That's why I made a second account. There isn't much to do, so my second account lets me play more. I can do twice the commissions, twice the domains, and so on. I play different teams on each account. My main account, for example, has a level 80 out of 90 Xiao with 9, 9, and 6 talents. My alt account has a level 70 Xiao with unremarkable talent levels. It makes the game a bit more fun, and it gives me more to do. Now, let's address the comment that this game is nothing more than a character collector. I've never played another gacha game, so I don't know how much depth other gachas have. I don't know how much plot there is or what their gameplay is outside of collecting new characters. But given the nature of Genshin, I think it's inherent from the get-go that, of course, this game is a character collector. We get a couple characters for free and no one mains any of them. People build up primos and people roll on new characters to collect them. That's one of the main components to this game. So yes, it's a character collector. That's fundamental to the design of this game. But JazzE isn't exactly wrong here, even though he's missing the point that there is content other than character collection. When MiHoYo takes time to produce new content, collecting new characters is one of the few things that people can do to get something new out of this game. I think the bigger problem, though, is that it's not the character collection aspect that's problematic, so much as the power creep that we're already starting to see with character collection. I remember earlier on in this game I told myself I just wanted a Diluc and a Keqing and I'd be happy. I have both of those characters now, and they're gathering dust. I have a C3 Keqing with a Primordial Jade Cutter, and a C4 Diluc with Wolf's Gravestone. They're my two highest Constellation 5 stars, both with their best in-slot weapon. But why should I be motivated to use them when I have a Ganyu team, or a Hu Tao team, or a Eula team? That's the bigger problem here. New characters are slowly moving up the benchmark of what makes a good character. I don't use tier lists, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to reference the one on Genshin.gg. They have 17 characters listed as S or S+. 12 characters are listed as A's. The B and C tier combined consists of 5 characters. Add the A tier onto that, and now you equal the S and S+ tiers. That's not a healthy game balance. We should have new characters releasing who are B or C tier. When Zhongli released, I believe Genshin.gg did have him on their B tier. Now he's on their S+ tier after receiving 2 buffs because everyone complained about how he was when he first came out. And that tells MiHoYo that the community just wants stronger characters. That we all want the next character to be stronger than the last, and so on. And that's not healthy for this game, and that should scare people away from rolling on new characters. I got Eula to C1 this banner because I like her and I enjoy her gameplay. I saw a lot of people on content creators' polls vote that they weren't going to pull for her, and then some of those people backtracked after she turned out to be pretty good. Look, I get it. It's a smart move not to pull for a character that you perceive as weak, but it's not a smart move to insinuate to MiHoYo that all we want are strong characters to be released. Because if that's what happens, why bother rolling at all? My C4 Diluc will eventually be phased out by stronger characters, same with my C3 Kaching, and even Ganyu can eventually be power crept, so yeah, the game is a character collector, but that's not the real problem. The real problem is the top-heavy, ultra-amazing characters on these tier lists. We know now from Genshin's Twitter that Sayu and Yoimiya are coming out. These characters should be Bs or Cs. Kazuha should be a B or C. But I'm already looking at whether or not Kazuha will replace my Venti, because the current trend suggests that he's going to be amazing as a support. That's what happens, right? New characters come out and they're better than the last. It's unfortunate to see these creators start to leave Genshin, because I really enjoy this game. I enjoy consuming content about it, and we're probably going to see more people move on when they also get bored with it, or perhaps when the next big game comes out. I mean, these people do need views after all, right? Guys, use your surveys in-game to tell MiHoYo that we want a balanced game, that we don't want power creep. Otherwise, there's no point to even spend your Primo Gems, because every new character could be better than the last at this rate. So, on other news, I was absent from YouTube for a bit because my school schedule and my psychology lab schedule made it hard to make content for this channel while also making content for my main channel for photography. I'm back now with more free time and a reinvigorated resolve to create content for Genshin and other games. I assure you, as long as Genshin remains updated, I will be creating content on this channel for it. And I'm going back to a weekly upload schedule as of today. So thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next week. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are about these creators leaving the game. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Drop it below. Let me know.